Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show. We're doing a special edition today because we want to talk about the Draymond Green, Jordan Poole situation. Instead of waiting until next week, we wanted to talk about it now. So, Black, there was a situation where let's just put it where it is. Draymond Green sucker punched Jordan Poole in a practice. Tape leaked out, and now he's apologizing over the internet. I just heard that he is stepping away from the Golden State Warriors for a while. We were just talking a little bit offline. I think they should suspend him for at least 5 to 10 games, not let him come to the ring ceremony at this particular point, to try to send a message that this is not going to be tolerated. One of the things that I thought about also too, Black, is that this happens sometimes in locker rooms and on the football field and in basketball courts all the time where teammates go after each other. This had been recorded, but usually teams kind of handle it in-house. But I'm going to let you talk about what your thoughts about this situation is.
Yeah, I get to in-house. I don't like the fact that Golden State wants to do an investigation and find out how tape got out. I understand that. I don't like that. To me, what really bothers me about this, and I understand that you can have skirmishes, you're in practice, whatever, or even in the game. You see sometimes players get at each other in the game. But the thing that kind of bothers me is Jordan Poole staying there minding his own business. Draymond walks up to basically instigate what he did. He already had it premeditated. He wanted to do something with Poole. It's not like they were out there playing, something happened, whatever. He basically seeked them out, got in his face, forced Jordan Poole to do a reaction so he could basically sucker punch him. To me, that's a coward, bro. That's different to where you and I basically, something's going on, we get a tussle, a punch is thrown, it happens. But when you basically premeditate to where you're going to seek a person out, he's standing by himself, just standing there. You walk up to him and set everything in the motion for it to happen. As you said earlier, 5 to 10 games, even more to me, he has to be dealt with. And if Golden State's not willing to do it, the NBA needs to step in because this cat believes he's above everything. And Golden State really never had him under control. But now with this, you really see he's not in control. So it might have been other things going on in practice that we not have been, privileged to see. But again, when you walk up to someone, practice or not, and you basically put that person in a situation where they have to do something to kind of defend themselves so you can launch at them, I have no respect for that. No respect.
We talked about Draymond Green on several occasions on this show. He's kind of like the glue to the team. But I'm thinking at this particular point, they really can't control him. And at the end of the season, I think he expects that he won't be re-signed. I was telling Black offline that if they could find another dog that is a power forward kind of center who can pass the ball, who could do some of the Draymond Green things, I think the experiment with Draymond Green should be over with the Golden State Warriors. Your thoughts about this situation, man?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've taken all this into account, and I'm trying to find as much as I can about the situation or what they received or released. But my biggest issue is the factor that I don't know all that happened. It does not excuse Draymond Green in my mind for what he did. That should never really probably take place. But I need to know more because things can happen. Was he wrong? Does he probably just need to be suspended? I agree with that. I can see that. But what I find ironic about this is, and why I think why there's such a rush to, oh my God, we got to do something right away, is because of the camera. That's happened before. People got punched out for one reason. And if you probably have the stuff where that we're not privy to, you probably would have been saying this a long time ago. Because of the new age that we live in and everything's recorded. And that's how it is. I'm not going to go into the point of whether or not they need to find out who had the camera. I mean, that's neither here nor there. We live in that age now. But I know that to act as if this is something that's brand new, and say what you want to about Draymond Green, he has a history. That's the other thing I think is actually following him too. He has a history for doing crazy stuff too. But I also know that I know this happened before in a manner of speaking or somewhere, somehow or another. But because we have not been privy to any video footage, then of course people are acting a certain kind of way. Is it outlandish? Yes. Do people have a right to be angry about it? Sure. But I guarantee you it didn't happen like that. It's something like this, not saying him, but somebody else has done something like this before. Because teammates fight. Teammates fight, and sometimes it gets ugly. These are grown men. I'm not excusing it, not what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is I'm not shocked by what happened. I'm not shocked by the sucker punch. it happens. It happens. People don't like one another, or whatever the situation may be. I'm not excusing them again, but I'm not surprised.
Anybody's been in locker rooms and played for teams, you know that teammates don't like each other sometimes, and it has to come to blows. But it also is a responsibility of the coaches and the coaching staff to kind of make sure that things go smoothly and to get that under wraps before it gets out of control. Any other thoughts? Because Black, you mentioned some of the player responses from this action, and I heard Shannon Sharp's reaction to it too, talking about, hey, there ain't no resolving this. We're going to fight every day. That's usually kind of a football way of doing it. But your thoughts about the player reactions to this?
Yeah, I saw some ex-players that basically came out. One person came out that was in contact with Draymond, said he told him, man, you got to go up to him and make this right. You got to go to him and apologize. This should not happen. He played with San Antonio. I can't think of his name right now. Jackson. Yeah, the same guy, actually the same guy that went to the stands of Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Spoke out about it. And, again, other players have said some things to you to step aside and kind of understand. And another thing, too, you talked about coaches. And the thing about Draymond, too, is that, bro, you're one of the leaders of the team. You're one of the superior seniority. You have to set the tone, and you should not be making the tone. Your job is to set the tone, so to speak. And that's a tone for these young cats you do not need to set. I mean, I can understand you want to get in his face and rough him up a little bit, talk to him, but the sucker punch, come on, bro. I mean, you should be better than that. You should be much better than that. Much better than that.
Ice, have you heard any kind of player reaction to all of this?
Well, you mentioned about Steven Jackson saying you got to make it right because they need to move forward. I think that's the normal way to try to get things done. This kind of, I'm not saying the same thing, but it reminds you keep hearing the fairy, I wouldn't say fairy tales because of supposedly this really happened. You hear about the folklore. I remember when they said that when Shaq and Kobe got into it, and Shaq slapped Kobe, basically. And everybody's like, oh, did he? Now you imagine if that's true, it had a camera. Imagine if you saw Shaquille O'Neal slap the taste out of Kobe's mouth. And compared to if you having video and not having video. Right now, we don't know. We hear about it like, did he really slap him? You hear it's like a lot of folklore or like people say, yeah, but we didn't see it. But when you add the video aspect of it, it just changes it to another level. And people would have been, I think they would have been a lot more of an uproar because you're such a big man, whatever the situation may be. My point is the camera. In regards to the players, when you play these sports like this, when you play team sports, one of the things you have to do, you have to have some type of camaraderie and chemistry. Mm-hmm. Like you said, you don't have to love somebody, but they're going to have a resolution where it comes to them playing together and trying to figure this out. Some people can go over it, some people can't. And you never know. With Poole might go, you know what? I can't do this no more. I don't respect him, blah, blah, blah. Draymond Green the same way. So you just never know. But they have to come to a certain resolution. It comes to a point where somebody has to be gone. A resolution has to come together because they just won the championship. They're trying to come back and compete one another. And if somebody's feeling some kind of way after this, that's going to be more of a serious negativity on the squad. And you don't want it to go all the way trickle down. So something has to be done so this can be resolved so they can move forward and try to play basketball.
I think it needs to be a team decision too. Okay, we got to dole out a punishment. What should we do? Ironically, Steve Kerr has gone through this situation with Michael Jordan. That has come up. And I'm wondering how Steve Kerr is trying to help kind of resolve this because he was kind of on the other end of Michael Jordan's blow, and how he dealt with that in that championship team and playing on that team and his relationship with Black Jordan at this particular point.
That's an interesting point. Very interesting. Like you said, he's been involved. So you would think he'd have a way to kind of get a grasp on this. And one player, we're talking about players that past players or whatever. We haven't heard anything with Curry. Curry, from my knowledge, has basically stayed quiet and stayed out of it. But maybe he should say something. Maybe he should at this point cut, because at some point, man, as Ice said, either Poole can get by it or not, but Poole need to know, in my opinion, that there's players on that team that have his back. They're just not going to basically be silent, be quiet, and be like, that's just who Draymond is. That's not what you need. You need someone right now on that team, which is Kerr. I think it'd be Curry, to step up and say, you know what? No, that's not right. He's my man, whatever the case may be. He has to learn how to handle things different. And that will kind of help set the tone and maybe get things back a little different. Because you can't sometimes expect the coaches or the GMs to do it. There's got to be someone in that locker room that everyone else respects that can step up and lead them. I think they can kind of get over it. I mean, it all depends how Poole wants to handle it. I think they can kind of get by it. But at the same time, if they can't, it can drag them down for the entire season. It really can. And maybe some other players out there feel the same way about Draymond. They don't want him there. So I agree with you. Basically, have a team get together and come and kind of figure this out. But one way or another, man, I will say this. You know, there's been other instances. We speak of Steve Kerr and Michael Jordan, and the camera's not been there, granted. But Michael Jordan didn't have a habit of bullying people during games. Shaq did not have a habit of bullying people during games, getting away with dirty plays. This is follow Draymond. So to me, that makes it, even beyond the video camera and everything else, that makes it even worse. I mean, if this is something that kind of happened, they caught it on camera, you go, yes, that's part of the locker room, that's part of training. I got it. But when you have a guy that has a history of doing stuff that you kind of put question mark to, there you go.
Yeah. Ice, Steve Kerr, same situation. I think he has some excellent insight on how we get over this, if you can get over it.
Yeah, I think he does. But again, that camera, bro, I don't care. I mean, you explain it how you want to. When you see something in this modern day age, it is exploded out to the highest level. If you saw Michael Jordan punching little Steve Kerr. Man, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. Come on, bro. You saw Michael Jordan punching that man in the face or wherever he punched him, you be like, oh, well, it's okay, it's Jordan. Hell nah. When you see the video, it just has a different view, man. People see it differently. And I get it. I mean, I get it. As I said before, Draymond's, his reputation, precedes him. He done some things. People were mad when LeBron stepped over him and he tried to kick LeBron in the private parts, which I think LeBron deserved, because everybody know when you playing basketball, you don't just step over nobody. That's a man thing. So if he was wrong for that, I'd have been mad. I'd have been wrong too. Don't nobody step over you, bro. And you think you're gonna get something back? He was wrong, but I understand that. But I understand too the point of his, like I said, his reputation, proceeding. But I think Kerr's going to try to be low key. One thing I will say, and I think this is important to note, that as it was mentioned about Stephen Curry stepping up and being a leader and showing this shouldn't happen, the one thing I want to look forward to and see, and this is how the media plays these damn games, because you know how I feel about journalism today, where a lot of it is just crap. Yeah, I said that, crap, because you're not being a real damn journalist and doing your job. They're going to be looking for somebody to give a report to the media as to what really took place. I don't think if Stephen Curry needs to step up, it does not have to be announced on no damn network. If you can come together and say what you need to say or go to approach him, you can still be a leader inside the locker room and keep it in-house. Part of the damn problem for me is everybody trying to come out and find out what's going on. It's none of your damn business. Real talk, it's not. You're a fan. You are a fan. They need to handle that in-house. So whatever it is, you want to step to Draymond and or what a real leader does, you ain't got to go on social media. Yeah, I talk to him so people can feel good. Hell no, that ain't about the business, bro. And that's not how you rectify situations. That's the problem. Everybody trying to get these sponsorships and this NIL, and everybody trying to get more followers and this VIP BS. Man, stop. Simply stop. Handle the business. Get back to work. Trade somebody, cut them wherever you got to do. But you ain't come out, well, I was here and I want to let you go. As a leader, I made an announcement. Man, shut the anyway. Stop.
I got one more question for both of you. I'm gonna start with you, Ice, on this one. You have Draymond Green's ear. What do you say to him at this particular point to kind of help this situation?
Well, I think Black Thor made an excellent point from the standpoint of reminding him that he's a leader, right? And the one thing about that Draymond Green is, when we look at Draymond Green's skill set, he's not the best shooter. He does not the best rebounder. He's not a flashy player, but he plays hard. He's a dog. He's a DAWG. He's a dog. He gives you everything he has, and he helps that team be great. Because even when he struggled in the finals, Everybody's looking for him to hit his shots. He didn't do that, but he laid out, man. He laid out. He put it all on the line. And when you do that, he's part of the heartbeat of that team, because a lot of people were horrible except for Steph Curry and Wiggins. But he laid it out, man. And when you are a leader like that, sometimes you got to humble yourself and apologize. You got to apologize and say, yo, man, I had a moment. I didn't like what you said, whatever you did. You was with my girl, or you said that about my ex-baby mama. And I felt some kind of way, so I had to give you a taste. Now I just want to let you know my bad. But as long as you keep your damn mouth shut, we good. I'm just saying, I'm keeping it 100 with you. So apologize to the man, be a man, step up, see if we can get over this. But I think sometimes, lastly, that when you get personal and you get too chummy with your teammates, I know it's a family, but certain things, man, whatever is going on, there needs to be kind of a distance. Let's hoop. I'm out here to hoop with you. I ain't got to love you all the time like that, but we can't play ball to win championships.
All right, Black, take it from
here. It's interesting, man, because I was sitting here thinking throughout we're doing this, it's probably some woman at the end of this, bro. You hate to think that, but it might be some woman at the end of this.
Allegedly.
This ain't playing no basketball scenario here. I'm saying it justified, but more than likely, it's probably somebody, some sweetness. Realistically, again, bro, you've been there. You've been in the trenches. You basically are part of what this team has built. You have to realize every time you're on the court, everything you're doing has to represent that at all times. You don't get a chance to take a break from that. You just don't. In other words, you can't be the Draymond that you may want to be. You have to be the Draymond that's needed. And that being said, yeah, you got to go to the young cat. You got to clean it up. You got to do better. You have to be better, man, because not only that, and I've said this on different times, as Black men, younger Black men are watching you, bro. Yeah. Never lose sight of that. Never lose sight of that. And then, especially when you reach to a certain level, we forget that quickly, but they're paying attention. And a lot of them will basically mock what you're doing. Maybe not exactly. So that image, keep that in mind at all times, bro. That's just me.
Yeah. One of the things that I would say to Jordan and Green is, as Black men, get this right. Set the stuff right. Set it right. Get it together right, because you are representing us, whether or not we want you to or not. You represent people who look like us. So get this right. Get this together. Get this right. If it means you have to separate as teammates, then fine. Apologize. Make it public. That's fine. Show some gesture as you're playing in games or out there on the court that you're all good. But make this right. Make this right, because we don't need to see another Chris Rock, Will Smith kind of incident where one dude takes months to apologize, and that's a punk move. You made a punk move, Draymond. Make it right, man. Make it right. That's all we got to say. See you next time.
Sure.